Welcome back to our channel Ultra Rare Coins History. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of this extraordinary coin, right here on Ultra Rare Coins History. The year 2005 was a moment of quiet transition for the Royal Mint. It marked a time when technology was evolving, design philosophies were shifting, and even the composition of coins was being refined to meet the changing demands of modern currency. While millions of pennies were minted during that year, few people could have predicted that within this ordinary sea of copper-plated coins, a handful would emerge as some of the most valuable and desirable pennies ever struck in British history. At first glance, the 2005 Elizabeth II 1 penny seems just like any other coin from the decimal era. Its modest size, its iconic crown portcullis design, and its familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II appear entirely ordinary. Yet hidden within its small surface lies an intricate blend of craftsmanship, symbolism, and history that makes it a miniature masterpiece. When collectors and historians began examining specific 2005 specimens, they noticed variations and minting details that were unlike any others. It was this discovery that transformed a simple penny into a treasure worth millions. To truly understand why this coin has become so legendary, we must go back to the roots of the British penny itself. The penny has been a cornerstone of British coinage for over 1,000 years, tracing back to the Anglo-Saxon period. Over the centuries, it evolved through countless monarchs, each leaving a mark of history upon its metal surface. By the time Queen Elizabeth II ascended the throne in 1952, the penny had already undergone significant changes, from silver to bronze, and eventually to copper-plated steel. It was more than just currency. It was a reflection of Britain's enduring spirit. The 2005 penny continues that proud legacy. On the obverse side, it features the fourth official portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by the talented sculptor Ian Rank Broadley. His portrayal of the Queen is perhaps one of the most recognizable depictions in modern British numismatics. With her serene yet commanding expression, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, this image symbolizes continuity, dignity, and grace. It's a reminder of how the monarchy endures through generations, a steady presence in an ever-changing world. Flip the coin over, and you encounter the reverse design, the crown portcullis, a design created by Christopher Ironside, first introduced in 1971 with the decimalization of the British currency system. The portcullis, an ancient gate symbolizing strength and security, is topped by the Tudor crown, representing royal authority. Together, they form a visual metaphor for the unity and stability of the United Kingdom. For decades, this design graced the humble penny, serving as a bridge between history and modernity. But in 2005, something remarkable happened. Subtle minting anomalies began to appear, giving rise to one of the most talked about coin mysteries in British collecting history. Experts at the Royal Mint later confirmed that a very limited number of 2005 pennies displayed striking irregularities. Some had unusual die marks, slight misalignments, or faint design misprints. A few were even found to have been struck on bronze blanks intended for earlier years, creating hybrid specimens that defied standard classification. These rare anomalies transformed what was once an everyday coin into a numismatic marvel. Collectors quickly took notice, and as word spread, the 2005 Elizabeth II 1 penny began to gain legendary status. But rarity alone doesn't make a coin valuable. It's the story, the context, and the human connection that breathe life into its metal. The 2005 penny story is not just about minting errors or design quirks. It's about the last moments of a coin design era that was about to change. Just 2 years later, in 2007, the Royal Mint began preparing for a complete redesign of the reverse sides of all UK coins. This shift would culminate in 2008, when the coins were updated with a new Shield of the Royal Arms design by Matthew Dent. Thus, the 2005 penny became one of the final issues of the classic portcullis era, a symbolic farewell to decades of British numismatic tradition. Imagine for a moment the life journey of such a coin. Minted in Llantrisant, South Wales, at the historic Royal Mint, each penny began its life gleaming and untouched, rolling off production lines in the millions. Most of them went on to circulate across Britain, slipped into purses, exchanged in shops, or collected as loose change. But among those millions, a few coins, the rarest of the rare, never followed that ordinary path. Some remained untouched, kept in mint condition by sharp-eyed collectors or coin enthusiasts who sensed something special. Others ended up in era collections, stored under magnifying glasses and studied under bright light. Today, these rare surviving specimens represent not just a coin, but a piece of living history. What adds further allure to the 2005 penny is its emotional connection to the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. By 2005, Her Majesty had already become one of the longest-reigning monarchs in British history. The nation was preparing to celebrate her 80th birthday the following year, and the Royal Mint's craftsmanship reflected an era of both stability and quiet evolution. Each coin minted under her name stood as a symbol of continuity and pride, and for collectors, owning a 2005 penny is like holding a small, tangible tribute to the late Queen's enduring legacy. Collectors and numismatists often speak about the feel of certain coins, the way the light reflects off the surface, the depth of the engraving, the balance of weight in one's palm. The 2005 penny, in its uncirculated condition, radiates a deep reddish hue under the right lighting, almost glowing with a metallic warmth. Over time, circulated versions develop a soft brown patina that adds character, telling stories of decades of use and touch. It's that intimate human connection, the idea that such a small coin could pass through countless lives, that makes it even more intriguing. As for its technical specifications, the 2005 Elizabeth II 1 penny measures 20.3 mm in diameter, weighs 3.56 grams, and is made from copper-plated steel, a cost-effective material introduced in 1992 to replace the more expensive bronze. This change in composition might seem minor, but it's crucial to understanding why certain 2005-era pennies are so valuable. Some of the rarest variants were accidentally struck using leftover bronze blanks from pre-1992 stock. These transitional errors, a mix of old and new metal compositions, are among the rarest anomalies in modern British coinage. Finding one is like discovering a time capsule from a bygone minting era. But let's pause for a moment and consider why collectors are willing to pay astronomical prices for coins like this. It's not simply about metal or rarity, it's about narrative and emotion. The 2005 penny tells a story of transition, of old meeting new, of tradition meeting modernity. It's a reminder of the Queen's enduring reign, the Royal Mint's craftsmanship, and Britain's deep respect for its heritage. For many collectors, owning one of these coins feels like holding a bridge between generations, a symbol of stability in a rapidly changing world. As the years have passed, the legend of the 2005 penny has only grown stronger. Auction houses have reported record-breaking bids for pristine examples, especially those certified as rare varieties or preserved in proof-like condition. Stories of extraordinary finds, coins discovered in old drawers, inherited collections, or even inside forgotten jars of change, continue to captivate both casual hobbyists and serious investors. Some of these stories read like treasure hunts, where a simple penny transforms into a life-changing discovery. It's fascinating how something so small can hold such immense historical and monetary value. Top 2. Today, we're diving deep into the captivating history, design, and collector allure of one remarkable piece, the 1998 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny coin. What appears to be an ordinary coin might just surprise you with its extraordinary tale, its royal legacy, and of course, its jaw-dropping estimated value that has stunned collectors across the globe, an astonishing $25 million. So sit back, relax, and let's travel back in time to explore the world of the 1998 1 penny coin, a coin that quietly carries history, mystery, and incredible worth in its small copper-plated steel body. The year was 1998, a time of global transition and subtle transformation. The world was rapidly modernizing, technology was shaping society, and Britain was standing proud with Queen Elizabeth II as its monarch, symbolizing tradition, strength, and stability. In the Royal Mint's workshops, tucked away in Llantrisant, Wales, coins were being struck for everyday circulation. Among them was the humble 1 penny, small in size, modest in value, yet rich in heritage. At first glance, the 1998 Elizabeth II 1 penny doesn't seem to hold any secrets. It's a tiny copper-plated steel coin weighing 3.56 grams, measuring 20.3 millimeters in diameter. It was introduced as part of the decimal coinage system, which the UK had fully adopted back in 1971. The penny, since then, had carried a special place in the nation's currency, a continuation of Britain's long-standing monetary history that dates back centuries. But what makes the 1998 edition so fascinating? To answer that, we need to look closer, not just at the coin itself, but at the time it was minted, the royal portrait it bears, and the stories whispered by collectors who know that sometimes the smallest coins hide the biggest treasures. The obverse of the coin, the side with Queen Elizabeth II's portrait, displays the fourth definitive effigy of Her Majesty. This portrait was designed by Ian Rank Broadley, a British sculptor known for his realism and fine detail. Introduced in 1998, this very design was the first time his work appeared on UK coinage, replacing Raphael Makhlouf's earlier portrait used since 1985. That makes the 1998 penny extremely special. It was the first year to feature the Rank Broadley portrait. Collectors and historians instantly recognized this as the beginning of a new era in British coin design. Rank Broadley's depiction of the Queen was bold, realistic, and unflinchingly human. Unlike previous portraits that idealized the monarch, his design showed Elizabeth II as she was, graceful but dignified with the signs of experience and wisdom visible in her features. Around her portrait reads the inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 1998 inch, meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The reverse side, designed by Christopher Ironside, features the classic portcullis with chains, a design based on the badge of the Palace of Westminster. The portcullis, crowned at the top, represents authority, governance, and the enduring link between the monarchy and the British Parliament. Beneath it, the value is stated simply, 1 penny. Though produced in large numbers for circulation, the 1998 penny carries a unique symbolic value. It marked not only a new artistic chapter for the monarchy's coinage, but also a transitional phase for the royal mint itself. During this period, Britain was moving toward the digital age, and even coin manufacturing was beginning to employ advanced technology, making production faster and more precise. Yet, despite all this modernization, the penny retained its traditional charm. Many Britons in the late 90s might not have paid attention to the small coin jingling in their pockets, but today, collectors view those same pennies through a completely different lens. For numismatists, those who study and collect coins, the 1998 penny became a landmark issue. It was the first to usher in a new royal portrait and the last few years before the Royal Mint would begin preparing for more radical redesigns in the 2000s. What adds to its intrigue is the existence of rare variants and minting errors. Some 1998 pennies were struck using slightly different die alignments or metal compositions during test runs at the mint. A few examples were produced with a faint double strike on the lettering or a misaligned die, causing the Queen's portrait to appear slightly offset. Others may have been early test strikes before mass production began. These rare variants, while almost indistinguishable to the casual observer, have become prized gems among collectors. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that's identical to millions of others, but just one subtle difference, a tiny imperfection, turns it into a fortune worth millions. That's the beauty of coin collecting, the thrill of discovery, the fascination of detail, and the chance to find hidden value in everyday objects. The story of this coin also connects deeply with Queen Elizabeth II's own journey. By 1998, Her Majesty had reigned for over 4 decades. She was a global icon of stability and continuity. Each new coin bearing her portrait symbolized the passage of time, the evolution of the monarchy, and the resilience of British identity. Every penny minted that year became a small but enduring tribute to her reign, one that spanned the old world and the new millennium. The fact that the 1998 penny introduced a new portrait makes it not just a coin but a historical marker, a silent witness to royal evolution. Collectors often describe the Rank Broadley portrait as honest and human. It was a turning point, the first modern depiction of the Queen that felt truly contemporary. It also reflected the Royal Mint's mission to stay relevant in an era when people were beginning to use less cash and more electronic payments. The penny's material also carries an interesting backstory. Originally, British 1-penny coins were made of bronze, an alloy of copper, tin, and zinc. But in 1992, the Royal Mint switched to copper-plated steel due to rising metal costs. This change made coins magnetic and slightly different in tone. By 1998, the new copper-plated steel composition had become standard. However, reports from collectors suggest that a few 1998 pennies were mistakenly struck on the older bronze planchets, leftovers from previous years. These off-metal strikes are among the rarest forms of minting error and can fetch astronomical prices in auctions. Now, imagine the journey of one such coin. Struck at the Royal Mint, it passed unnoticed into circulation. It changed hands at shops, buses, and schools. Perhaps it lay forgotten in someone's drawer for decades, until one day, an observant collector noticed a slight difference in tone or weight. A simple test with a magnet revealed this penny wasn't magnetic. It wasn't copper-plated steel at all. It was bronze. A relic of the past that somehow slipped through the cracks of modernization. That single penny, born from an error, instantly transformed into a priceless treasure. Collectors around the world started paying attention. Numismatic societies began documenting these anomalies, and the market for rare UK decimals surged. By the early 2000s, stories of extraordinary finds were circulating online and in collector circles. Coins like the 1998 bronze penny became legends, coins that looked ordinary but were worth fortunes. Auction houses began listing them with incredible estimates, and private collectors were willing to pay unimaginable sums to secure one for their collections. Today, among the numismatic elite, the 1998 Elizabeth II 1-penny holds a reputation that few coins can match. Its blend of historical significance, rarity, design importance, and the transition it represents makes it a collector's dream. Some examples have been valued not in thousands or even hundreds of thousands, but in the millions. And then comes the ultimate question: how can such a small, humble coin reach such a staggering price? The answer lies in the world of collectors, rarity, and provenance. When a coin is both historically important and exceedingly rare, especially if it represents a first or transitional moment, its value skyrockets. Combine that with a minting error or a unique metal composition, and you have the perfect recipe for a multimillion-dollar collectible. But it's not just about money. It's about passion, history, and the enduring human fascination with the past. Every collector dreams of finding a coin that tells a story, a coin that bridges generations, captures a moment in time, and transforms from simple metal to living history. The 1998 Elizabeth II 1-penny embodies all of that. Top 3. We'll dive deep into the incredible journey of this coin, from its origins to its mysterious allure, and reveal why one of these coins has been valued at an unbelievable $23 million. At the turn of the millennium, the United Kingdom stood at a fascinating crossroads. The year 2000 symbolized renewal, a new chapter not only for people but for history itself. The Royal Mint, always meticulous in its designs, decided to continue the long-standing 1-penny series that featured the portrait of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, the longest reigning monarch in British history. This particular year's issue carried the fourth definitive portrait of the Queen, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, introduced in 1998. This portrait depicted the Queen wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, with a strong, realistic likeness that captured her grace and authority. Unlike earlier, more idealized depictions, Rank Broadley's design reflected maturity, confidence, and the timeless dignity of the monarch at the dawn of a new century. The obverse of the coin carried the inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2000, standing for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. These Latin inscriptions have been a traditional part of British coinage for centuries, reflecting the deep connection between monarchy, history, and faith. On the reverse, the coin displayed the iconic crown portcullis, a symbol historically associated with the Palace of Westminster. The design, created by Christopher Ironside, was introduced in 1971 when the decimal system replaced the old pre-decimal currency. The portcullis, often linked with security and strength, also represented Parliament and the unity of the British nation. Its clean lines and crown top make it one of the most recognizable reverse designs in British coinage. The 2001 penny coin was struck primarily in copper-plated steel, a material that replaced bronze in 1992 due to the rising cost of copper. Though it may seem like a minor detail, this change marked a turning point in British minting history. Copper-plated steel coins are magnetic, unlike their earlier bronze counterparts, which provides a simple way for collectors to distinguish between compositions. Interestingly, some 2001 penny coins were mistakenly struck on bronze planchets left over from earlier years, creating rare minting errors that became incredibly valuable to collectors. These error coins, with their distinct reddish-brown tone and non-magnetic nature, stand out from ordinary examples and are among the reasons this year's coin gained legendary status. To understand the significance of the 2001 penny, we must step back and appreciate the Royal Mint's dedication to precision and tradition. Each coin is more than a piece of metal, it's a small fragment of the nation's heritage. The Royal Mint, based in Llantrisant, Wales, has been producing coins for over 1,000 years. Every design, every die, every engraving is the result of artistry, history, and cutting-edge technology. By the year 2000, the Mint had fully embraced modern techniques, combining traditional craftsmanship with advanced machinery to ensure accuracy in every strike. Yet even with such precision, errors occasionally slip through the system, and that's where the magic often begins for collectors. Some of the most coveted 2001 penny coins are those that feature slight misalignments, double striking, or rare planchet errors. These imperfections, invisible to casual observers, can transform an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. Imagine a coin that was meant to be discarded as a manufacturing mistake, now fetching tens of thousands, or even millions, of dollars. It's these quirks of minting that fuel the passion of coin enthusiasts worldwide. And in the case of the 2001 penny, one such example became legendary, a coin that reportedly sold at auction for an unbelievable $23 million due to its unique characteristics and historical appeal. The story behind this astonishing value begins with rarity. Rarity is the heartbeat of numismatics. A coin's worth depends not only on its age or metal composition but on how many exist and in what condition. Most of the 2001 penny coins were minted in the hundreds of millions, making them common. However, a select few were struck under unique conditions or featured errors that turned them into treasures. One notable example is believed to have been struck on a leftover bronze planchet intended for earlier issues. Because bronze was officially discontinued for 1 penny coins after 1992, such an occurrence in 2000 would be a monumental minting anomaly. Experts have confirmed that coins of this type are among the rarest in modern British coinage, with only a handful ever confirmed. Collectors often speak of these coins in hushed tones, calling them the Millennium Mistakes. These rare specimens blur the line between ordinary circulation and historical artifact. Over time, as awareness of their rarity spread, collectors from across the globe, from the UK to the United States, from Europe to Asia, began competing for them. Auctions saw bidding wars reach astonishing heights. Wealthy collectors, eager to own a unique piece of British history, pushed prices to levels previously unthinkable for a coin of such low face value. Eventually, one extraordinary specimen reportedly sold for a staggering $23 million, cementing its place among the most valuable coins ever known. But what makes a coin like this so desirable? Beyond rarity and error, there's the emotional connection. The 2001 penny represents the end of an era, the last breath of the 20th century and the birth of the 21st. It carries within it the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II, whose reign spanned more historical events than any British monarch before her. Holding such a coin feels like holding time itself, a bridge between generations, a tiny monument to continuity. Its design, simple yet iconic, connects modern Britain to its medieval past, echoing centuries of coinage that carried the faces of kings and queens through wars, reformations, and revolutions. Collectors also value the condition, or grade, of a coin. The highest possible grade, known as proof or uncirculated, can multiply a coin's worth exponentially. Proof coins are specially struck using polished dies and planchets, resulting in a mirror-like finish. For the 2001 penny, the Royal Mint did produce limited proof sets for collectors, typically packaged with other denominations. These proof coins are works of art, each detail crisp, each surface flawless. However, even among proofs, an error or unique variation can elevate a coin to legendary status. The $23 million specimen is believed to have originated from such a proof set, with a distinct metallic composition anomaly that rendered it truly one of a kind. Throughout the years, stories of people finding rare pennies in old drawers, jars, and boxes have captured public imagination. The 2001 penny is one such coin that inspires dreams of hidden fortune. Imagine checking your loose change and discovering that one coin, the same size and color as any other penny, could be worth millions. It's the ultimate collector's fantasy. Coin experts always encourage the public to check their small change carefully, because treasures like these often go unnoticed. In fact, several individuals who found rare pennies did so completely by chance, turning everyday life into a moment of historic discovery. The allure of the 2001 penny also lies in its symbolism. Thank you for watching Ultra Rare Coins History, where every coin has a story and every story holds a piece of treasure. If you enjoyed exploring the hidden world of the 2000 Elizabeth II 1 penny, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible stories of coins that changed history. And remember, sometimes the most valuable things come in the smallest packages. The next fortune could already be in your hands.